Shedeur Sanders, are you high on him, higher than I am? Why did he drop? What do you expect from him going forward?
Well, I think he's going to win the job. I've known him since a little kid. All right, I know Dion, and I think the Dion factor, that bravado, that's why teams kind of went, we don't want this, right? It's let's call it like it is. They didn't want that, but I didn't think he would drop that far.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But once they start falling, then it says, But I think that was all because of when he came, when you decided to draft him, you knew what you were going to get, and they didn't want all that attention. So if I was there and it's even, I'm playing the rookie.
Shedeur Sanders fans, we just got some insane news that's about to shake up the entire NFL. An NFL coach just went on record saying Shedeur is going to win the starting job in Cleveland. And I'm telling you right now, after seeing what I just saw in this latest footage and hearing what's happening behind the scenes, NFL teams are absolutely panicking because they passed on this kid. I mean, we're talking about a guy who dropped to the 5th round when he should have been a 1st or 2nd round pick, and now he's about to make 31 teams look absolutely foolish. You're not going to believe what Herman Edwards just said about Shedeur, and trust me, this is about to get wild. So check this out. Yesterday we got this incredible workout footage of Shedeur down in Miami, and let me tell you something, this man looks absolutely crisp. Like, I'm watching these throws and I'm seeing the mechanics, I'm seeing the accuracy, and I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell did 31 teams pass on this guy? From what I've seen in this footage, his arm looks more than strong enough, his feet movement in the pocket is clean, and he's getting the ball out quick. You know what that tells me? This dude has been grinding, putting in that work, and he's ready to show the world what he's about. But here's where it gets really crazy, and this is what got me fired up to make this video. Former NFL coach Herman Edwards, and this is a guy who knows talent when he sees it. He went on the Coach JB show and straight up said Shedeur is going to win the starting job in Cleveland. Not maybe, not possibly. He said he's going to win it. And you know what? I think he's absolutely right, and I'll tell you why. Edwards broke it down perfectly. He said teams didn't want to deal with the Dion factor, the attention, the media circus. But you know what? That's exactly why those teams are going to regret this decision. Because while they were worried about handling primetime sun, Cleveland went out and got themselves a franchise quarterback in the 5th round. 5th round. That's robbery, straight up. Now I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I've been following Shedeur closely throughout this whole process, and from what I've seen, this kid has everything you want in a franchise quarterback. The swagger, the confidence, the accuracy, the leadership qualities, he's got it all. And what I love about him is he's not just talented on the field, he's already showing he cares about the Cleveland community. He's at the high school events. He's connecting with the fans. He's doing everything right.
Shedeur is way better than Dylan. Dylan wasn't nobody's list. Let's call a spade a spade. Nobody was thinking about Dylan Gabriel being drafted in the first 3 rounds. Nobody. There wasn't on nobody's list. Nobody was talking about him on TV at all. They were listed top 10 quarterbacks. He wasn't in the top 10 Like, come on. Let's be real here. And let's also be honest. Andrew Berry ain't good at drafting now. Let's call a spade a spade. He ain't good at drafting, and they ain't good at developing. So now, to me, like, again, this goes back to it. Who says their job is safe?
But let's talk about what's really happening in that Browns quarterback room, because this is where it gets interesting. They drafted 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round and Shedeur in the 5th. Now, I'm going to say something. That might be controversial, but I need to keep it 100 with you guys. Dylan Gabriel was not on anybody's top 10 quarterback list. Nobody was talking about this dude being drafted in the first 3 rounds. I mean, come on, let's be real here. When you look at the pre-draft rankings, Shedeur was listed as high as 1st overall by some analysts, and even at his lowest, he was still considered a top 50 player. Dylan Gabriel? Man, I never saw him in any top 100 rankings. So explain to me how the Browns draft the less talented quarterback in the 3rd round and the more talented one in the 5th? That don't make sense to me. And here's what's really got me thinking. If Cleveland is really eyeing that 2026 quarterback class like everyone's saying, then why not give these 2 rookies every single opportunity to prove themselves? I don't want to see Joe Flacco out there. The man is 40 years old. We know what we're getting with Joe. He's a placeholder, nothing more. And Kenny Pickett? Man, he had his chances in Pittsburgh and couldn't get it done. Then he goes to Philly as a backup. Why would you trade for a guy and then immediately draft 2 quarterbacks if you really believed in him? You know what I think? I think the Browns front office doesn't even believe in these veteran quarterbacks, and they're just trying to buy time. But here's the thing. Time is exactly what Shedeur Sanders doesn't need. This kid is ready right now, from what I've seen. In his college tape, his pro day workouts, and now this Miami training footage, Shedeur has that it factor. He's got the arm talent, the pocket presence, the accuracy, and most importantly, he's got that dog in him. You can see it in his eyes. He knows he's better than where he was drafted, and he's coming for that starting job. Let me tell you what I want to see happen in training camp, and this is crucial for Shedeur's development. He needs reps with the first team. He needs reps with the second team. He can't just be throwing to rookies and practice squad players. If the Browns are serious about evaluating these young quarterbacks, they need to give them real opportunities with real NFL receivers and real NFL offensive schemes. Herman Edwards made another great point. He said if it's even between a veteran and a rookie, you play the rookie. And you know what? That makes perfect sense. Why would you start a 40-year-old quarterback who's not going to be there next year when you could be developing your potential franchise quarterback? But here's what's really got me excited about Shedeur's situation. The dude has a chip on his shoulder the size of Cleveland. He knows he was disrespected in the draft. He knows teams passed on him because of his last name and the attention that comes with it. And now he's in a position where he can prove all the doubters wrong. Think about it. What better storyline is there than a 5th-round quarterback coming in and taking over a franchise? That's the kind of story that makes legends. And from everything I've seen from Shedeur, he's got the mentality to handle that pressure and thrive in that situation. What do you guys think about this quarterback situation? Because I'm telling you right now, I think Shedeur is going to surprise a lot of people. Let me know in the comments if you think he's got what it takes to win that starting job. The thing that really gets me fired up is when people try to downplay Shedeur's arm strength. Look, is he going to throw it 70 yards like Josh Allen? Maybe not. But you know what? Most successful quarterbacks in the NFL aren't doing that either. It's about accuracy. It's about timing. It's about getting the ball out quick and making the right reads. And from what I've seen, Shedeur excels in all those areas. Plus, let's not forget about the leadership factor. This kid was running Colorado's offense, making pre-snap reads, adjusting protections, and managing the game at a high level. That's not something you can teach. That's natural football IQ, and Shedeur has it in spades. Now, I know there are some people who are going to say, well, what about the competition? What about Dillon Gabriel? And look, I'm not trying to disrespect Dillon Gabriel, but let's be honest about the talent gap here. Shedeur was the more productive college quarterback. He was the higher-rated prospect coming out of high school, and he's shown more NFL-ready traits throughout this entire process. The Browns are in a unique position here. They could have stumbled into their franchise quarterback in the 5th round. And if that happens, they don't need to spend one of those first-round picks next year on a quarterback. They could use those picks to build around Shedeur and really set this franchise up for long-term success. But here's the key. And this is something that really bothers me about how some NFL teams handle young quarterbacks. They need to pick their guy and stick with him. The worst thing you can do is start a rookie, bench him after 3 games, bring him back in week 5, then bench him again in week 7. That's how you ruin a quarterback's confidence and development. If Shedeur wins the job, and I think he will, they need to ride with him for the entire season. Let him learn from his mistakes. Let him grow. Let him develop. That's how you build a franchise quarterback. That I'm going to be watching this training camp situation very closely, and I think you guys should too. Because if Shedeur gets a fair shot and equal opportunities, I truly believe he's going to win that starting job. And when he does, Cleveland is going to have something special on their hands. What's your prediction for the Browns quarterback battle? Do you think Shedeur has what it takes to beat out the veterans and Dillon Gabriel? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I want to hear what you guys think about this whole situation. The bottom line is this: Shedeur Sanders is hungrier than ever, he's more motivated than ever, and he's in the perfect situation to prove that he belongs in the NFL. Cleveland might have found their franchise quarterback in the 5th round, and if that's the case, this is going to be one of the best draft steals in recent memory. That I could be wrong about this, but from everything I've seen and heard, Shedeur is ready to take that next step. The talent is there, the work ethic is there, and the opportunity is there. Now it's time for him to go out and prove that he belongs. That's what I think is going to happen in Cleveland this season. Shedeur Sanders is going to shock the NFL world, and all those teams that passed on him are going to be kicking themselves for years to come. What do you guys think? Are you as excited as I am about Shedeur's potential? Make sure to let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if you're Team Shedeur, and don't forget to subscribe for more Browns and NFL content. We're going to be covering this quarterback battle all season long, and trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Subscribe for more Shedeur Sanders and Browns content.